Hello everyone. So today is a video after a long time. I think it's been almost 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks since I've actually recorded a video, and the reason why was because initially I was going back to Singapore, and then while I was in Singapore while celebrating Eid, or actually there's a kind of like a day of celebration for Muslim, for after we've done through the whole month of actually fasting. And you know what? Visiting friends and family in Singapore was great. Everything was good. Caught up with my family members, of course, mom, dad, all my siblings in Singapore, and then also managed to meet a couple of friends. Not too many, really, because with only like 10 days in Singapore, there's not a lot that you can really kind of cram through that whole time frame. Anyway, then after that, after all that good stuff is done, came back here. But while I was in Singapore, especially, I think it was the third or the fourth day. I think it was the fourth day. I think I actually fell sick. My asthma got really bad, and on the second week, on the Monday, I actually had to go to the doctor. Yeah, just to get my medication, because guess what? I did not bring any. And when I came back to Australia, my asthma was still there. Initially, I thought it was recovering, but after that, it actually got pretty bad. And then I had to go to the clinic again after work on Tuesday, which was actually about 3 days ago, no, 4 days ago. And yeah, so when I saw the doctor was like, look, you need to go on a higher dose of like oral steroid medication, and also a higher dose of your asthma preventer in a way. So that was what happened. And thankfully, like honestly, the last 2 days, it was actually pretty tough. Like my asthma was actually getting worse, and I was like, especially yesterday, it was so confusing. Yesterday was real bad, that I was like, maybe I should go and see the doctor again, because literally every single sentence when I was speaking, I was coughing. I was literally coughing every single time. And then, but I was like, you know what? If things really don't get better by today, which is the Friday, I'll go to the doctor in the afternoon probably. Yeah, and thankfully, I actually did get better this morning. It was as if, like, a flick of a switch kind of thing. I mean, I'm really thankful. I'm really thankful. Thank God that, I really got my health back. And yes, the funny thing was that although I had my asthma, I was still exercising every single day, because I know that that was good for me. So literally on Tuesday night was when I actually went to the doctor. On Wednesday, I actually went swimming. Yesterday, I went running. And then today, this morning, I went swimming again with my beautiful wife. Like, she's been really supportive, and of course, she also wants me to get better quicker. I honestly did not expect it to be like this morning. It was as if a flick of a switch, and I'm so thankful to God that I'm feeling much, much better today. So, everything's well now, yeah, and the main thing is that I just want to give a bit of an update about what's been happening, especially on the fronts that, after I've done a lot of like talks, and a lot of, I wouldn't really say talks, but a lot of online sessions with Hallie in a way. So she's my business mentor, I would say, because I am doing this online course, and she's the one who's been guiding me through it. So I must say that it's been going on all right, and the reason why I say all right, is because, of course, when I was in Singapore, I couldn't really spend a lot of time to focus on it, and then when I was back in Perth, I got sick, and that really did not help to make things easier. In fact, if anything, it did slow down a lot of things, and I do not really like that. But it is the fact of the situation, right? That these things do happen. And then thankfully, my wife actually really helped me out to do up the basic design kit in a way. So there's still brand style guide or brand style kit that needs to be done. And I'm no designer, so of course I don't really know how to do those things by my own. But my wife, she's amazing at it. So that's what she actually helped me with. So now I do have like a brand kit that I am going to be using that in order for me to, when I employ no not when I employ, but when I hire maybe freelancers on Upwork platform, yeah, for me to use the platform to maybe get some idea of what I need to do. might also consider maybe getting a virtual assistant from the Philippines. Now, this is where I'm actually not sure, and maybe I might shoot Helly a question about this, about when do I use Upwork, when do I use the virtual assistant, because you don't want to be paying too many things in all directions. Because one thing I realized about myself is that I actually do love doing this kind of content in a way, where I talk to the camera. I really don't mind doing this, but the video editing part and the uploading and the descriptions and all that stuff, that is what I really don't like in a way. Yeah, and if there is a way for me to not do all these things, but can I can still get things out in a way, I think that is something that is much more doable and something that probably I can live with for sure. So yeah, so that's what I'm kind of thinking of, and yes, to some extent I am finding the most affordable option, and yes, in my mind I'm like, as time goes by, when I can afford more, of course I'm more than happy to be getting a bit more professional help, and then also eventually maybe considering getting a team here, like getting a local team here who'll be able to do all these different things for me. But hey, I'm still new in the journey, so I'm still trying to find out what's like the best way to go about all these things. Yeah. So next thing is that, oh, guess what? I've actually invested another $1,500 in the Cohere platform. So the Cohere platform is actually a platform where that's where I'm going to be posting all my courses, the landing pages. It's basically an all-in-one platform. The easiest one to compare it to is probably like Kajabi, where a lot of individuals, or a lot of educators and teachers would kind of post their courses on Kajabi, and then people can go onto Kajabi in order for them to learn more courses and all that. So that's kind of the main idea behind it. But the main reason why the Cohere platform is potentially better than the other ones is that because it's really an all-in-one platform. So instead of getting like Facebook for some sort of community, and then having Calendly, having an email sequence, maybe like ConvertKit, having a separate landing page and all these things. So Cohere actually aims to take all of that and bring it into one, right? And at the moment now, there is like a one-on-one that you can do, a one-on-one kind of video consult that you can do maybe with your clients, but there isn't like a group one. So at the moment, it's not perfect just yet. So there are some things where you have to integrate, for instance, like Zoom onto it, so that not really integrate Zoom into the platform, but more of use the platform to schedule things, but then you can give out reminders via that instead of doing it via Zoom in a way. So yeah, so those are all the intricacies behind it. So again, in Aussie dollars, that's so 1,500 is actually in USD. So in Aussie dollars, it's about $2,200. So as you can tell, it's really a lot of money going out, and it's actually not going out at the best time, because literally last month, my wife just got made redundant from her job, and this was something we were not expecting at all, because like when when I wanted to make my investment into this, of course, we would have thought that things were gonna stay the same, like status quo, right? So that I wouldn't really have to worry much about like the finance side of things and whatnot. And what I realized is that sometimes in life it just doesn't work out that way. So, in other words, like there's definitely a huge so like with all the investments that I'm making into this, as time goes by, it makes me feel like it has to work. It has to work, because if I don't put enough effort into it, if I don't put the work into it, and if I don't get results from it, everything is going to be like in vain. I know that ultimately it's not really in vain, because why? I myself am gonna benefit from it. I know that Alex Holmes, they talked about it before, where when you invest into all these different things, you are losing money in a way, but even if you lost the time that you even if the results is not what you thought you were gonna get, you are still investing in yourself. So yes, I have actually learned a lot. I have actually learned so much, and if anything, why this mentorship with Helly I feel is helping me is because it's kind of like having a guide through whatever that you need to do. And she also has a really good support team in a way. I actually met one of her support team the other day, Marie. Yeah, and she's really good. Like, she really told me what are the things to focus on and whatnot. So that's also really great. So having not just Helly but also her team behind her to help her in terms of like the tech support of things, or in terms of like the copywriting side of things, I think it's really really great. So this is where I feel that I know that in the long run I am gonna benefit from doing this. I know that it is something that's gonna be good for me, but I also know that there will be a lot of work that has to be done on my end in a way. So that's all I'm gonna talk about in this video. I don't want to make it too long. I feel that as time goes by, I am a bit more confident talking to the camera, which is great. And again, I have decided to not make it too super duper high energy, because that's something that I can't really sustain. And the more I look at YouTube nowadays anyway, when someone is talking to the camera, they actually try to keep it really light and casual, and so that the person on the other end is able to understand, you know, it's just like having a conversation with someone. That's the vibe that I do want to aim for here. So yeah, so we'll see how everything goes, because I am actually really excited just to see how everything's gonna be. Man, I really have to get onto like this content creation thing. And oh yeah, okay, maybe just one more thing before I sign off on this video is that I actually have recorded like the first 3 episodes of my podcast, and it's roughly about an hour long each. Now, when I thought about it again, should I make it an hour long, or should I make it a bit shorter? I think that I'm gonna go with the shorter version, because I realized that when I do something that's really long, firstly, I'm not sure if people are really going to be listening to something that is super duper long, especially the fact that it is kind of new. So I don't know, would people want to sit down just to listen to the whole thing or not? And the second thing is that because I am still working on my lead magnet in a way, so I feel that without the lead magnet, people won't really be able to download it. And you know, so I feel like I have to get these email sequencing things ready, I guess. And then once all of this is ready, then not really the email sequence, but also the landing page and the lead magnet and everything that's surrounding that. Yeah, so once that's all set up, then I feel that when I record my podcast, I'll be able to direct people there. Like, I think that would probably make a bit more sense in a way. So yeah, so this is how I feel about it. Now, one thing that Helly did mention is that she's a very huge believer in paid ads and all that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with paid ads. I may have concerns though regarding, like, yeah, probably, yeah, paid ads might make the reach out a bit more, but in terms of getting the, like, in terms of getting that, yeah, actually. All right, so let me try to phrase it this way. From what I've heard anyway, like from Alex Hormozi, or even some of the other gurus that's out there on the internet, there's actually someone who I recently came across on YouTube who's also, she's also been like teaching others to do courses and whatnot. And she also talks about the importance of using a warm audience, which is basically people around you or people who you know, and then having reach out to like cold audience, people who those warm audience might know but who might not know you initially, you know. So just kind of like having your network out that way, so slowly from people you know to people you don't really know, and then from there then you can some sort build some kind of a list. So I'm not going to say one way is better than the other way. One thing is that I have definitely seen Helly to be someone who's the closest to what I want to do, and the reason why I say that is because she herself is a healthcare practitioner who's in the States. And myself, I'm a healthcare practitioner here in Australia, and I feel that the fact that we are both in healthcare, it is probably something a bit closer to what that I need in a way. And apparently, if paid ads work better for my or for this industry, then I guess it is what it is, you know. Yeah, so again, that's all just my thoughts for this video, and I'm just gonna stop here. Again, my thoughts and all this, I think and I know, will change over time. So let's just see where everything goes. Alright, so this is me signing off today on the 3rd of May.